This news update is brought to you by...
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Catch the sun power.
This is the 6 p.m. Barbados Today update for Wednesday, January 15th, 2014. I'm Dawn Paris. Barbados Workers Union General Secretary Sir Roy Trotman is stepping down, and a woman is likely to take his place and become the first ever female BWU leader. He announced at a press conference today that his deputy, Tony Moore, has been nominated to be his successor.
She has been chosen by the Executive Council on my nomination to be the person that we are presenting and projecting to the public as the person that we wish to groom for possible ascendancy to the office of General Secretary when the election is held in August of this year.
Sir Roy spoke at a press conference earlier today, and as he prepares to hand over the reins, the BWU boss says the current labour situation, which includes mass public sector job cuts, is the worst he has had to deal with in his more than 40 years in trade unionism.
Everybody who's been involved in this has had all kinds of nightmares, all forms of pressure regarding what is it that we might do as individuals or as groups of individuals to make the conditions, the living standards, and the future of those large numbers of people more livable. And frankly, that is still the nightmare that we are faced with. I don't think that there's been anything as awful as this in my experience.
Meantime, Central Bank Governor Dr. Delal Worrell is suggesting that there should be no expectation that jobs will be restored in the public sector in the future, even if the economy improves.
The government expenditure is more than 1/3 of the GDP. That's too much. And so the fiscal consolidation is an underlying structural requirement of the economy, and is something which, as you intimate, is not a result of the crisis, and is something that we have always had to address.
During a press conference today, Dr. Worrell sought to assure that Barbados will not face an IMF structural adjustment program or devaluation of the dollar. This is amid projections for slow and low growth for Barbados this year. The central bank governor also delivered news of what he said was a turnaround in investors' faltering confidence in Barbados.
The way that we protect our exchange rate anchor, the way that we protect the value of our dollar, is by maintaining an adequate level of foreign reserves. So when you saw the rate at which foreign reserves were declining in the second half of last year, people naturally became nervous. You can't blame them, you know. And that's why we had to take very firm fiscal action, because that is the way you correct that situation.
A veteran educator is shooting down the idea of single-sex education. Graydon Sealy Secondary School Principal Matthew Farley says the discussion is really a dead one. He was the moderator of a panel discussion last night, which formed part of the Springer Memorial School's 50th anniversary celebrations.
All the progress that we've made in terms of gender development and gender equality, I think a discussion that calls for single-sex schools in 2014 is a dead discussion. I believe that boys and girls, males and females, live and work in society together. They rub shoulders, they compete for the same jobs within the environment, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with having them learn side by side.
There's regional and international news after this short break. McInerney Quality and Consolidated Finance invite you to trade in your old car for a new one. So, bring your car and come to McInerney Quality in Wildy. That's right, all trade-ins are welcomed. Any make or model will trade towards your new car. Plus, you get 2 years free insurance when you purchase a Kia, Mazda or Ford. And with on-the-spot financing by Consolidated Finance, you can drive away with something new. So, bring your car and come to McInerney Quality in Wildy. All trade-ins are welcome.
In regional news, we go to Trinidad and Tobago, where Health Minister Dr. Fuad Khan says people in the Twin Island Republic are lazy, making themselves sick, and creating a crisis for hospitals. He says the physical and mental laziness is making things difficult for authorities because when those people get ill, they put pressure on the healthcare system. Internationally now, Nigerian authorities today began arresting gay men after legislation was quietly approved criminalizing homosexuality and imposing prison terms up to 14 years. Several gay couples were taken into custody in the country's majority Muslim north, and rights groups fear that others would be targeted across the West African country. The new law prohibits homosexuals from even meeting in groups of 2 or more. It bans marriage or civil unions between people of the same sex and criminalizes gay clubs and events. And that's been the 6 p.m. update. Join us again at 7 tomorrow morning. Until then, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, and like us on Facebook to get more news and sports. I'm Dawn Paris.
This news update brought to you by...
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Catch the sun.